One of the interesting facts about Britain during the 18th century is that the King of Great Britain, by the time of the American Revolution, was simultaneously the Elector of Hanover. The Act of Settlement, after the death of Queen Anne in the early 18th century, had had the Hanoverian rulers as the next in line for the British crown, being a stalwart Protestant band of northern Germans. That means that Hanover's fate was closely connected to Great Britain throughout the various wars of the 18th century, particularly during the Seven Years' War, when it was threatened and attacked by the French. During the American Revolution, Hanoverian forces were not mobilized to serve in America, unlike a lot of other German auxiliaries that the British hired, but Hanoverian troops were deployed elsewhere within Britain's global empire, which helped to bolster British garrisons and also free up other British troops to serve in the war here in America. Hanoverian forces formed part of the garrisons of the British possessions of Gibraltar and Minorca in the Mediterranean. Those serving in Minorca surrendered to the French when it was attacked and captured by French forces. But the Hanoverians that served in Gibraltar successfully withstood an almost 3-year-long siege of that fortress, along with British troops serving there in one of the most heroic campaigns of the global American Revolution. Some Hanoverian troops were also dispatched to India during the course of the Revolutionary War, showing the global reach of some of Britain's military forces along with their allies. Now, these objects right here are connected directly to Hanoverian forces. The heraldic emblem of the Hanoverian rulers was this leaping white horse, which appears both on this cast brass badge, really for a cartridge pouch or cartridge box, as well as on this gorget. And this officer's gorget, which is similar in its shape and size to a British one, unsurprisingly, bears the image of the crown with the running horse and the number 4, indicating that this was for an officer of the 4th Hanoverian Infantry Regiment. So the similarity to British material culture is not surprising given the close connection of Britain and Hanover to each other. The silk sash right here appears to be a Hanoverian example and is actually very similar again to the sprang-woven silk sashes worn by British officers. The difference in this case being that it's made of yellow silk. The crimson silk sash that many of you might be familiar with from British officers is unique to Great Britain. So Hanoverian officers wore a yellow silk sash, which was an identifiable color in the uniform of the officers of this electorate. This beautiful sash is actually able to be opened up much wider than its current width, and is actually woven in it the date 1714, which is probably when it was created. But this would have been tied around the waist of a Hanoverian officer. Although we don't know who wore this particular sash, it's likely that they served in the field as one of Britain's stalwart allies during the 18th century.